Look here, into the center of this dim room, reeking of cheap energy drinks and disappointment. Here, on a chair that remembers times before the invention of hygiene, sits the crown of evolution, the apex of the food chain. His name is Rich Sanchez. Rich is a unique biological specimen. He belongs to the species Homo Degenus, the degenerate human. He has spent the last 5 years of his life trying to prove that the laws of mathematics and probability do not apply to him. You viewers are looking at him right now thinking, "Oh, what a pathetic loser." But don't jump to conclusions. Look into your own souls. You are here because you are the same. You are carbon-based life forms, dreaming of pressing a button on a phone screen and receiving a banana. Only, instead of a banana, you want a Lamborghini. And instead of evolution, you choose degradation. Do you see this reaction? This isn't the work of an analyst. This is the reflex of Pavlov's dog, who has been shocked instead of fed for years, yet still presses the pedal. Rich calls this investment activity. The rest of the world calls it a high-speed method of flushing grandma's inheritance down the toilet.
It's just a dip, guys. Totally normal market correction. We're still early. I'm buying the dip. Everything is fine.
Rich's optimism is a pathology. He looks at a chart resembling the trajectory of a brick falling from a roof and sees opportunities. His brain, poisoned by dopamine and cheap beer, constructs a reality where he is the protagonist of a movie about success. But in reality, he is an extra in a documentary about financial disasters. Today, we will dissect this creature. We will dismantle his mistakes down to the atoms so that you, little greedy hamsters, can at least try not to repeat his fate. Although, who am I kidding? The statistics are ruthless. 95% of you will lose everything. But let's at least laugh while the ship goes down. He can't even find the interface. It's going to be a long night. Get your notebooks ready, or whatever you write your last wills on. We are beginning our descent into the abyss of human stupidity. Let's talk about chemistry. Not the kind Rich probably dabbled in during college, but neurobiology. Why is Rich trading? Do you think he likes blockchain technology? Do you think he read the Bitcoin white paper? Rich hasn't read anything longer than the label on an air freshener. He is here for the dopamine. The cryptocurrency market is a perfectly engineered dopamine extraction machine. It is a casino that never closes. There is no face control, no bouncers to throw you out when you start crying, and most importantly, there is the illusion of control. You're feeling arrhythmia, Rich. What is happening inside his skull is identical to the processes in the head of a junkie. When he sees a green candle, his brain releases neurotransmitters screaming, "You are a god! You are a genius! You hacked the system!" It is a feeling of euphoria.
Genius. God mode. Hacked the system.
And for the sake of this feeling, he is willing to endure weeks of pain, humiliation, and a diet of instant ramen. The problem is that trading, real professional trading, is boring. It is the most boring job in the world. It's spreadsheets, risk management, and waiting. It's like watching grass grow. But Rich doesn't want to watch grass. Rich wants fireworks. He made $2. Meanwhile, he paid a commission of $3 to open the trade and another $3 to close it. Mathematically, he is in the red. But emotionally? Emotionally, he is the wolf of Wall Street. He just beat the market. This small victory, this microscopic dose of success, is the hook. The market lets him win just enough so he doesn't leave, but not enough for him to actually make a change in his life. He is like a lab rat pressing a lever, hoping for sugar, but getting only new debts. Arithmetic has left the chat. Do you see the tragedy? He doesn't perceive money as a tool. To him, these are chips in a casino, digits on a screen. As long as they are on the screen, they aren't real. He doesn't think about the fact that this is his rent, his food, his future. To him, these are just points in a video game. And like any gamer, he hates losing. When he sees a minus, he doesn't stop. He wants to win it back. The martingale strategy. A way to guaranteed lose everything, just slightly slower. Rich thinks he is playing against randomness, but he is playing against algorithms written by PhDs in mathematics working for funds with a market cap larger than the GDP of the country Rich lives in. The odds of success here are lower than the chance of Rich finding a girlfriend. But he believes. Faith is all he has left. Now, let's move on to the intellectual capabilities of our patient. In psychology, there is a wonderful concept, the Dunning-Kruger effect. It is a cognitive bias where idiots are too stupid to realize how stupid they are. Rich Sanchez is a living illustration of this effect, a walking chart of incompetence. He watched one video on YouTube. One. A video from a guy renting a suit and filming TikToks in front of other people's cars.
I told you we'd make it. Look at this. We are taking this to the moon. 10,000% gains.
And now Rich believes he knows everything. He thinks he understands macroeconomics, geopolitics, and technical analysis.
Look at this. Triple bottom guaranteed. It's foolproof. We can't lose money on this one.
Rich, you are drawing with a felt-tip pen on a liquid crystal display. This is not technical analysis. This is vandalism. You are simply connecting random dots and seeing what you want to see.
They want us to think it's random, but it's a system I just cracked.
It's called apophenia, the ability to see structure in chaos. But the market is not a structure. The market is chaos, multiplied by the greed of millions of fools just like you. Beginners often get lucky. It is the worst curse. Rich's first trade was successful. He bought some shitcoin just because he liked the name, and it went up 50%. What did Rich think? Did he think, I got lucky? No. He decided he was the chosen one, that he has a gift. This is survivorship bias. He doesn't see the graveyard of traders who did the same thing and lost everything. He sees only his random success. And this inflates his ego to the size of a blimp. He starts speaking in terms he doesn't understand. Liquidity, volatility, layer 3 blockchain. He can't even explain what a blockchain is to his mom without using the word magic. His confidence is built on a foundation of sand and hallucinations. The market loves people like this. The market feeds on them. Overconfident amateurs are the best fuel for the capital growth of professionals. Every dollar Rich wins is just a loan. The market lets him hold this money so Rich can feel its weight, get used to it, start planning to buy a yacht, and then the market will take it back, with interest. The market cannot be wrong, Rich. Price is truth. It is the only reality. If the price goes against you, it means you are wrong. But admitting a mistake means hitting his inflated ego. So Rich doesn't sell. He transforms into an investor. He says, I'll wait. He marries his losing coins. And here we come to the climax, the moment when stupidity meets greed and births catastrophe. Spot trading is too slow for Rich. 10% profit a year? Pfft, that's for pensioners. Rich wants 1,000% in an hour. Welcome to the world of futures, the world of leverage. Look at this finger. It is trembling with anticipation. Rich chooses 100 leverage. What does this mean? It means he is borrowing money from the exchange that he doesn't have to buy an asset he doesn't need. If the price moves 1% against him, he loses everything. It's like trying to run through a minefield in magnetic boots. It's like giving a monkey a loaded rocket launcher. All or nothing. The motto of those who usually get nothing. Rich doesn't understand risk management. He doesn't even know the word. For him, a stop loss is a sign of weakness. Real men don't limit losses. Real men watch their deposit turn into dust. He opens the trade. And what happens? The market smelled fear. The price drops just enough to trigger his liquidation. A message arrives on his phone. The scariest message in a trader's life. Margin call. The exchange politely informs, "Thank you for your money, Rich. You were a wonderful sponsor of our party. Goodbye." This is a moment of pure pain. The money is gone. It exists no more. It has dissolved into the digital ether. Of course, Rich. The CEO of the world's largest exchange woke up this morning with one thought. How can I take $50 from Rich Sanchez? You are the center of the universe. Your paranoia is a defense mechanism. It is easier for you to believe in a global conspiracy than to accept that you are just a greedy idiot who pressed the wrong button. But the scariest part isn't the loss of money. The scariest part is what he will do next. Do you think he will draw conclusions? Do you think he will go learn? No. He wants revenge on the market. This is the tilt phase, a state of emotional instability where a person loses the remnants of their sanity. He is ready to bet everything: relationships, trust, the future. He throws in new money and bets times 100 again. Because this time, I'll get lucky for sure. It is an endless cycle of suffering. Samsara for degenerates. But what keeps him coming back? What fuels this infernal machine? It is FOMO. Fear of missing out. Rich opens Twitter. He sees successful people. 18-year-old millionaires who bought a picture of a monkey and now live in Dubai. He sees screenshots with thousands of % in profit. Social media is a funhouse mirror. No one posts their losses. No one shows getting liquidated. Everyone shows only success. And this creates the illusion that making money is easy, that everyone around is a genius, and you are the only fool sitting in your underwear eating cold pizza. This pressure is unbearable. When Bitcoin goes up, Rich feels physical pain. Every % of growth is a knife in his heart. I could have been there. I could have bought that. And he buys. He buys at the very peak. When taxi drivers and grandmas on the bench are already talking about crypto growth. It is the signal for the end of the cycle. But for Rich, it is the signal for the beginning. He boards a train that is already flying off a cliff. It is classic. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Rich does the opposite. Buy the top, ride the... Well, you get the idea. And as soon as he buys, the music stops, the lights come on, the party is over. Smart money exits, handing their heavy, overvalued bags to people like Rich. Now he is a proud investor. He holds an asset that gets cheaper by the second. And then comes FUD. Fear, uncertainty, doubt. The news starts screaming, "Crypto is dead! Ban! End of the world!" And he sells at the absolute bottom, exactly 1 minute before the reversal. He masterfully buys the most expensive and sells the cheapest. If there were a championship for capital destruction, Rich would be an Olympic gold medalist. His instincts are tuned perfectly. Wrong. He is the perfect counter-indicator. If Rich is buying, you must sell. If Rich is crying and selling, it is time to buy. Look at him. Empty gaze, empty wallet, empty soul. Evolution has stopped and gone in reverse. What lesson can we learn from this tragicomedy? Is the market to blame? No. Are the whales to blame? No. The lack of discipline is to blame. Trading isn't about predicting the future. No one knows the future, even me, although I know what you ate for breakfast. Trading is about managing yourself. You didn't have a plan, Rich. You had a hallucination. A plan is a boring list of rules. If the price reaches here, I exit. I risk no more than 1% of the deposit. I do not trade while drunk. These are simple rules. Even a trained monkey can follow them. But not Rich. Because Rich is chaos. And money loves silence and order. You, watching this video, you think you are smarter than him? Maybe. But the market will test you. The market will find your weakness. If you are greedy, it will punish you at the highs. If you are fearful, it will shake you out before the pump. If you are impatient, it will force you to wait for years. He is incorrigible, an absolutely hopeless case. His brain has already rewired itself to seek a quick high. He will do this again and again until he ends up living in a cardboard box under a bridge, drawing charts with charcoal on the wall. Don't be like Rich. Be boring. Be systematic. Turn off your emotions. Or just give your money to charity. At least that will bring benefit to someone other than the exchange owners. This was the first episode of the Chronicles of Rich Sanchez's downfall. If you recognized yourself, I pity you. If you want to see how he will suffer next, subscribe to the channel. We are just getting started. Ahead lie NFTs, scam projects, and Rich's attempts to create his own coin. By Friday, he will only be an alcoholic. See you later, future bankrupts. Remember, not your keys, not your coins. And not your brains, not your money.